Have you heard about a world-ending fish and a very hungry monkey falling in love? We're drawing near the release of Godzilla x Kong, and I personally could not be more confused. On the one half we have a monkey, and on the other half we have a fish, lizard thing. The confusion I had always stemmed from the fact that everybody knows that this is a world-ending being. So how did they make 2 movies and a love story arc with a monkey without the world ending? Will I be proven wrong by actually watching the movies? Let's see.
Godzilla.
So a little boy greets his mother and Walter before they head off to work. They work at some nuclear place thing location, and the place basically Chernobyls itself. Mother deer passes and Walter is sad. There's a lot of plot between that point and the point we smell something fishy. The basics of the middle section are: the kid grows up and visits Walter, an enemy appears and does some questionable things to Walter, and this man saying,
call him Godzilla.
What did he say?
Godzilla.
Once more?
Godzilla.
So about an hour of meaningless plot develops, and then we finally meet
Godzilla.
He basically defeats the enemy and in the process destroys Nevada and Hawaii. What do they have to do with it, man? Look how happy they are. Now a lizard rocks up and unhappy is Hawaii. It's just sickening. He also defeats the final boss by doing some questionable acts. Made me very uncomfortable. It was an enjoyable watch, a big no-brainer. Not my personal style of films, nonetheless still okay. Before we move on to Donkey Kong's father, I just quickly want to ask you guys a simple question. Look, I'm a small YouTuber. Every little bit of support will really help me in the algorithm. The goal is 1,000 subscribers before the 28th of February. So please, help a young man out. Subscribing is totally free, and trust me, you won't regret it. Okay, now this film is a prequel to Godzilla. It's your typical story of Mystery Island, mysterious scientist wanting to explore, badass leader type character, and cloaked evil general. So unique. So the army wants to explore this new territory and they find Harambe's wrath. We found out Monkey Man is actually just angry because the military bombed his home. In reality, he's a pretty lit guy. Am I right, my fellow teenagers? So the bomb caused some baddies to climb out under the ground apparently, where they've been hiding for forever basically. So Nick Fury wants to take out the big ass monkey, Loki wants to save the big ass monkey, and the big ass monkey just wants to eat some sushi. The threat is eventually taken out. Also, Nick Fury's plan to take out Kong is a success. The remaining forces vows to not speak about Kong's island in order to keep Kong safe. Everybody lives happily ever after, well, apparently. Personally like this movie more than Godzilla. I think you'll enjoy it. Still not as good as Kung Pao Enter the Fist, but hey, what is?
Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Next, we have the sequel to Godzilla. A new big plot development is we see a device that's able to control the big monsters now. But how they explained it, quite literally, all they do is put 2 different creatures' sounds together, and that convinces a big creature to do whatever they want. They're just audio mixing. They're hyping up 2 people who are apparent super geniuses for designing the same piece of tech my DJ buddy has. Later on in the movie, unfortunately, the guy blows himself up to save the big ass lizard.
生活让我变得坚强，却失去了胆量。年轻的心不再疯狂。
He has to do this to supercharge Godzilla because apparently there are a lot of monsters destroying a lot of cities, controlled by a very powerful being. They are controlled by a Hydra ripoff. They call it King Ghidorah, which in fairness is what I also would have called my firstborn son. So the fishman wakes up, goes nuclear, and then slurps the head of my son's name twin. Also, the rest of the beasties bows to Kong and calls him daddy. Once again, meh, movie. If I wasn't watching it for the purpose of making this video, I would have felt like I wasted my time. Not only because the movie doesn't compete with Kung Pao Enter the Fist, but also because I feel like I could have watched 20 to 30 minutes and knew exactly what was going to happen.
Okay, so
in this movie, apparently Godzilla is not the savior of humanity. He just attacks this facility with his only reason being understandable. And later we get the big-ass monkey who befriends a child, and then gets put on the boat. The fish smells Kong, attacks the boat, and the tenseness begins. Godzilla basically just wants to attack them to prove he's the Andrew Tate of monsters. The fish wins and everybody plays dead in order to survive. Also behind the scenes, a big-ass robot is constructed the exact place Godzilla attacked. I'm gonna keep that in. Which once again proves all Godzilla wants to do is be
top G.
No AI in his backyard is allowed. He's a big environmentalist. Speaking of being environmentally friendly, Godzilla just drills a hole down to the center of the earth in order to find Kong. Oh yeah, Kong now lives in the middle of the earth. They call it the hollow earth, but I just like to call it Middle Earth. The monkey is upset because now his roof has a fucking hole in it. So he goes to retaliate. Kong loses, almost dies, wakes up. A deaf girl tells him to help Godzilla defeat the robot, who for some reason is there now and just the new enemy. And the two team up. In the end, the robot is destroyed and the two look at each other and wish they had their final kiss. Same old story. They take chances on themselves, but they don't take chances on others. Mid-movie. Not bad, but by no means good. In all honesty, I binged all of the movies 2 days before writing the script. I had to go back and watch movies in minutes just to remember what happened. Okay, now for the final trailer. For hopefully the final installment.
Godzilla.
A few years ago when I first saw they were going to release a Godzilla v Kong movie, I thought it's pretty cool. They're building up two big characters and eventually gonna make one of them kill the other. I hadn't seen it at the time, of course, but it was an amazing concept. It's what made me want to see it. Just seeing the name of the newest movie already makes all of the other movies redundant. I know one of them didn't pass away. Unfortunately, they missed a big story opportunity there. It's like calling a movie Avengers, the death of Tony Stark. It makes all of the other Avengers movies feel meaningless and pointless, because you're gonna know exactly what's happening. It's not bad that it's going to happen, but it's bad that they market it that you already know what's going to happen in the title. Okay, the trailer first starts with Kong climbing out of Egypt. Okay. For some reason he fused with Bumblebee, and Kong is shown to almost have committed child murder, as one does. Then the villain of this final installment is revealed. Who will be able to take out two kings? Who will compete with the brilliance of Godzilla and King Kong? The antagonizer of the fish and the monkey will be another monkey, huh? Not just any monkey, but a big-ass orangutan. Given, this is a pretty cool scene. But another monkey? Why not something cooler and more dangerous like Cthulhu? Even though the other movies weren't as fantastic, I would line up to see Godzilla and King Kong against Cthulhu. Not fish and monkey against bigger monkey. Also, something that is slightly irritating is this. Really? If you run at me with something with the same effect of... I'm not scared. I might cringe to death though. Also, for some reason, Godzilla is not blue anymore. It's pink. Somebody's feeling fabulous. Overall, the series isn't necessarily bad. It's just exactly what I talked about in the Kung Fu Panda movies, except even more watered down. I predict that the world-ending villain won't end the world. I predict possibly one of the beasties died, and I predict the same monsters who are bowing down to Godzilla are going to try to help in the fight but not accomplish anything. If you're with me, slap me with a like. Give me 40 likes and I'll take my pants off the next episode. I promise. So what is the moral of the story? Is it that people always try to remake stuff for money? Mostly. Is it that we should take inspiration from this masterpiece? No. The moral of the story is I wasted 8 hours of my life watching these movies, and the only thing I remember was...
Godzilla.